if you have been a trader of oil, you are probably, overjoyed with what's happening here in the market. The market's like really trending upwards in oil, or the energy sector as well. And it's holding good steam. It's holding good positive momentum. It's heading higher. So let's analyze oil technically and see what's in store in the coming weeks. Like, I'm just going to look at the technical analysis for oil and give you some thoughts on what you could do to process your own particular trades and decide on when is a good time to buy or sell oil. Okay, so in order to do that, I'm going to first look at the monthly time frame. I always like looking at the big picture before I dive into the details. So in the big picture of oil, like as you can see, I want to zoom out and show you how oil has been trending for a few years. So this is all the way from 1984 to date. So you can see oil actually peaked all the way up to the 140, and this is around the June 08. And this is where the market was in a bear market, and that's where oil peaked. Since then, it just crashed all the way down to the 200 period moving average line. So similarly, the market just rallied up since then, crashed down in 2015, and the market and oil seems to have an inverse correlation with each other. So if the market's trending upwards, oil's trending lower, and if the market's trending lower, oil's trending higher. So similarly now, like you've also seen, I think this was the only exception where oil tanked the same time that the stock market tanked. And that's just because of the abnormally, you've never seen the market or oil trade in the negatives, but it did that. But since then, oil's been on a very strong rally. It's kind of bounced back. So I'm going to give you a little bit more into the insights of where could it possibly trade, looking at the technical picture of it. So oil did skyrocket up to the 130 levels, and this is when the Russian war got announced. And that was a good sign for the market in the oil market, to be specific, because it just rallied all the way up. But now it's holding its ground into a good upward trend. So where is it headed now? Where is the upward potential or the upward projection for it? In terms of its upward direction, it is in a strong bull trend. And I do feel that the oil market could be driven a lot by the fundamentals that the Russian war has on it. And if the Russian war ends tomorrow, you'll see a decline that happens tomorrow itself. You'll see the market start to decline, because then a lot of more stability will happen into the market. But if the war continues and there's more restrictions on the fundamental news of oil, you could possibly see this move higher. So where higher, or how much higher would it move? The first range that I see is the 130 mark. It could touch 130, and then it could kind of decide, should I just relax for a little, or should I go up further? The next high that I see is the 140 mark. So that's still a long way, because we're at around the 120-ish mark right now. So these are the two milestones that I do see it going upwards if it just continues to trend in the upward direction. But I want you to keep in mind a couple of things. The thing is that the market or oil, or it could be any commodity, just kind of skyrocket to the moon and just keep going up. There will be a time, just like you see here, that the oil will crash down. So if you are interested in buying oil right now, I would just say maybe keep a very tight stop loss, because the market may just trend in a different direction based on news. But if you're looking to buy, you could probably buy and hope around 130 is what you would possibly get if it continues to trend higher. So I'm going to look at a shorter time frame. So if you are a weekly time trader and maybe trading between a few weeks and a month, there are different stocks, ETFs, energy commodities that focus just on these sectors. So you can pick and choose. What's your weapon of choice, you could call it, or what's your income generating stock or ETF, whatever is, or futures. So this is just the crude oil futures that I have in front of me, FYI. And as you can tell, the market just rallied up and it then held its ground on the 20 period moving average line. So now that it's in no man's land, there could be a possibility that the market, because this is the previous high that it had, it did go up on on a daily time frame higher. So the market can possibly, that's why you see a small like bearish sign here, and it may try to head towards the 20 period moving average line before it bounces back, or there could be a small correction before it bounces back again. So if I were an investor in oil right now and I'm trading the weekly time frame, I would wait until the 20 period moving average line is touched, and that's where I would possibly look for a buying opportunity in oil. I would never buy at this time. So my advice to you, if you're trying to buy oil for today to keep it for a few weeks, don't buy it right now. Wait, if you really want it, maybe buy a little further up, so that you know that okay, it's actually crossed this line and it's not going to head lower. So that's just my advice if you're trying to trade the weekly. And that's, again, this is just for educational purposes. You can paper trade this, you can like process this as like just my thoughts on the market. Don't take my word for granted, like do your own analysis and like research on it. So I'm going to just show you quickly the daily time frame, and this is the last time frame that I'll show you. This is for people that are interested in trading maybe for a couple days or 3 days. So if you're trading those time frames, you could possibly wait until it touches the 20 period moving average line or the 50 period moving average line. That's a good buy zone. Don't buy it right now. As I said before, in the weekly time frame, it's a little overinflated. There could be a possibility that it may go lower. Now, there could be also a possibility that I'll actually head towards the 124 mark and then head lower. So that could also happen. Because if it's an upward momentum and we just like continue and be like, okay, it's actually closer to reach this than to reach this, so let's go up and then like crash down. So that could also possibly happen. So just keep these scenarios in mind, like, as the market develops and as the market shows more direction, use this logic to guide you into your buy and sell decisions, and it could help you to be more profitable. So if you're, to summarize all that I shared so far, if you are trying to get into the market, get into like somewhere between these two zones, between the yellow and the purple line, which is the 20 and the 50 period moving average line. If you are a a weekly time frame trader, wait until it goes down to the 104 levels. That's a more safer bet to get good bang for your buck. If you are more conservative, maybe like wait until it touches and then decides on the direction before you go ahead. So I hope that was helpful. This is like giving you some perspectives into the oil market, when is a good time to buy or when is a good time to sell. So I hope this was helpful. Do write in the comments, what do you think about this? If you like me to cover some set of videos for you, or analyze a different stock or a different future for you, do let me know. And with that, I'll see you soon in another video.